Hello friends, welcome to OJS Cloud channel. Today we will learn about the workflow setting in OJS. So you have to just log in with the Open General System with the editorial manager or editorial login account. So you just log in with the editorial login account. So when you log in with the editorial login account, you will go to the setting. There are the different types of the setting. The first is a general setting. We already covered into the video. Website setting, that will be also covered into the video. Workflow. Now we will learn about this workflow setting. Workflow is defining the how the general workflow is working. So you can use this workflow setting. So in the workflow setting, there are the 4 tabs. In the first tab, the submission setting. In the submission, the first tab is the disable option. If you want to disable the submission, if you want to close the submission, no author submit the paper, so you can use this disable submission. If you click on the disable submission, that means now no one can submit the paper. Second is a metadata. In metadata, there are the different types. The first is a coverage. The coverage is the period label, date or date range, and the geographical coordinates. If you want to enter the coverage metadata, so you have to just use this enable. Second, the language metadata. If you want to enable language metadata, so which kind of the language supported in the submission of the paper, so you just enable the language metadata. In this, there is a 3 types. Do not require the submission language. Ask author to indicate the which language they have to submit the paper, and require the author enter to the submission language. Okay. So if you choose this option, the submission does not ask for the which language you have to submit the paper. If you choose this, then the submission asks, okay, have you submitted in which language? If you select this, that author must be enter a language metadata. Either is English, Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, Indonesian, Persian, Arabian, rights. This is the enable the rights. This is the intellectual property rights and copyright. Who can hold the copyright and intellectual properties rights? In the most of the general, author can be hold the copyrights and intellectual property rights. In some other general, the general also hold the copyrights and intellectual properties. So you can enable this right metadata. Then source metadata. In the source metadata, you can display the information of the DOI or the URL at which source you have to get it. Subject metadata, same type, is the subject keywords. Then type metadata, which type of the text is a data set, text or the image. That discipline means science, commerce, arts, which discipline is that. Then keyword metadata, enable the keyword metadata, that enable and ask to author suggest the keyword metadata, that means author has to enter the keywords metadata. Supporting agency. If you use the different supporting agency for the metadata, so you just enable the supporting agency. If you want to enter the references at the end of the paper, there are the different references, so you have to enter the references. Then publisher ID is special ID, unique ID for the publication, galley, issue or issue galley. So this is the first metadata part in the submission. Second is the component. In article component, you have to define what type of the article is that. Is an article text, it's a data set, it's an image, it's an HTML set, it's the HTML of the paper. So you can define into the article component. You can add component also from this article component. Then third is the checklist. Checklist is used for the when user submit a paper, what kind of the guidelines or what kind of the information user first check, and then after submit the paper. So you have to prepare a checklist in this. Okay, for example, here we submit, we design the one checklist. The submission has not been previously published or not before the journal in consideration. Means paper will be not published in any other journal. Submission file must be in open office. That means in a Word file. So you prepare as per your general guidelines. You can prepare the checklist. Then author guidelines, that will be also displayed at the time of the submission. So what are the author guidelines you can enter here. How can I see this? You go to the website and you go to the make a submission. So in this you have to first see the checklist. These are the checklist part. These are the author guidelines and these are the copyright notice, as we have to mention in this checklist part in the workflow. Checklist part and author guidelines. Then you go to the review section. In the review section, there are the different types of the review. The first is anonymous reviewer, anonymous author. That means author does not know about the reviewer, reviewer does not know about the author. Second part, anonymous reviewer disclose the author. Author does not know about the reviewer, but reviewer know about the author. And open, author and reviewer both see identity. Restrict file access. Reviewer will not given access to the submitted file until you have to agree to review it. So reviewer can't see the restrict file access. Okay, if you enable that. One click reviewer access. So when you get the secure email invitations, visit the one click, it will review. Default, you can set the deadlines. How many weeks or how many days. For example, I want to just set the deadline in the 1 week. So you can complete into the 1 week and then save. This is a reviewer guidelines. Okay, and the reviewer guidelines and the competing interest you can enter according to your requirement. This is a reviewer form. You can create the reviewer form, so you can put the description and everything is here in the reviewer form. In the publishing library is a set of different files. For example, if you set a template file of the sample paper, so you can put into the permission file. If you put the agreement form, so you can put into the publishing library. You can put the undertaking form, other required papers, so you can put into the publishing library. You can just directly add, give the name, choose the file for the marketing purpose, permission purpose, report and other, and you just upload the file. And last option is email. So in email section, you can create a one signature when the any email fire. So this signature is append in the end of the email. So you just design the one signature and you can put the signature. So every time when email is fired, this signature will be go to the end of the email. And the email different email template is there. If you want to edit a email template, this is a predefined email template. You can edit to the predefined email template. So if you want to edit any predefined email template, you just go to the email template, click here and just go to the edit and you can edit according to requirement. But this changes in the email template, you need requirements, some basic knowledge and the database knowledge of the open general system. Without the knowledge of the variable or the database and without having the knowledge of the any technical, if you do not have the any technical knowledge, kindly my advice is do not changes in email section, because this is a very complex and programming part. So now this is the workflow of the OJS Open General System. So you can manage the workflow of the Open General System. Thank you. If you have any query, kindly visit the OJSCLOUD.com and send your email, so we can definitely help to you. Please like and subscribe our channel and stay tuned for the next video.